Hi everybody, I thought I would do a quick video on how to keep a profit and loss, basically. I bang on about profit and loss being so important. I thought I might as well show you how I keep a profit and loss, and therefore you may want to take this style of profit and loss and go and use it yourself. So as you can see here, we're right at the most recent 3,609 entries, but what we'll do is we'll go all the way up to the top. Right back to the very beginning. Alnadam, the first horse back in 2022. This is one of two sheets. The other one is on the other computer, but this one is from 2022 up to current, which is October 2025. So straight away, the important part of this is obviously the dates. The date of which horse, what day it ran on. So this day, for example, we had 9 selections that day. Or 8 selections that day. So on the 1st of the 1st, 2022. Then I want to put in the horse name here in the second column. Trainer, jockey, course, which class of race this is at. Now this is important for me because this has allowed me over the years to look back at basically how I'm doing in class sort of 1 to class 7s. And basically what's happened is over the years I've used the data to basically really sort of consolidate the type of races that I'm betting on. And the data recorded over a good period of time has allowed me to sort of exploit more profitable angles rather than being so sporadic with your betting. Whether it's a handicap or what type of race it is, handicap chase, hurdle, flat, turf, whatever, or weather. Official rating of the horse. Again, this is another good bracket because it allows me to look back and see if I'm doing better with the higher rated horses or the lower rated horses. Again, it's all about trying to consolidate the amount of races that you play in to attack the most profitable angles, right? This is the BSP, so the Betfair starting price. This is the in-running price. This is the in-running bracket, so I'd have a bracket if it's traded below 2.0, for example, like this one did. Hititi trade at 1.76, 2.0. The tipped price, decimal, the SP price of the horse, the decimal SP price, the stake, the total stake, so whether that be 0.5 point win or 0.5 point each way, etc. Whether it won or placed, whether it finished first, second, third, 12th, whatever. The calculated profit and loss, and then the SP profit and loss, and then the BSP profit and loss, and then the rolling profit and loss. So this will automatically update through the info that I'm putting in. A couple of other columns that I've got here, which may be unnecessary for you, but this is just to give me a feedback of the data. Whether the horses are shorteners, drifters, the percentage in change in price down this column here in AH, and then obviously the website and the year is at the end. But this is a very pretty much in-depth profit and loss, so I can look at any sort of information in here. And what I have is a dashboard in sheet 2, which allows me to manipulate and say, well, how did I get on? It takes all that information and allows me to show how I got on Thursday in January back in 2023. 12 points staked on Thursdays in January, and I ended up with minus 1. Or we can look at, for example, how did I get on in 2023 overall, which is there, 2024 overall there, 2025 current there. There's lots of different things I can manipulate and do. How have I got on with my 4-point wins across the entirety of the sheet, which is 24% return on investment, which is good. I could also look at trainer and jockeys. So this is something else that I implemented at a later date, just to try and give myself as much information as I can, because I was getting a little bit like, oh, every time I back this horse, whatever, when this jockey, when he rides for this trainer, he never comes through for me or whatever. So like Dan Skelton, I've got a funny feeling that Dan Skelton, I only really profit with Dan Skelton through Harry Skelton, which is not true. There you go, you learn something every single day. That's not true. What about when Keelan Woods rides for Dan Skelton? Nope. What about when Tristan Durrell rides for Dan Skelton? Nope. This is a little bit strange. Interesting. Very interesting. But those little things you can find. Ollie Murphy. There'll be two Ollie Murphys in here because he's in capitals there. So you've got to go careful there that you've inputted the right data. But all the trainers are listed. Let's have a look at Willie Mullins. Willie Mullins. I'll tell you what. Look at that stroke rate for Willie Mullins. Willie Mullins' horse is 18% return of investment, 15% return of investment for Betfair SP. So you're just basically looking through this as I'm looking through it now. Like it's something that I will always do. 30% return of investment. Willie Mullins, Paul Townend, like that, don't we? Patrick Mullins won't be in profit. No, look at that. Horrendous. Patrick Mullins on. Don't back Patrick Mullins on Willie Mullins horses is not the way I'm going to go forward. But this is all how you should be able to look back at your data. And all of this data, at the end of the year, if you sit there and you go through it, you will literally be able to compress what you're betting on. You will help yourself. Now, obviously, history doesn't predict the future, but it can give you a good idea of where you should be cutting out horses and what types of races you should be cutting out. If you're struggling to find your niche, then recording data is the only way to do it. But you need a big sample size, okay? So I've got 3,000 entries on this, plus another sheet on my old computer, which has helped me really, look at where I should be betting and where I shouldn't be betting. So this is how you should record it. Obviously, you don't need to go into as much depth as I do, right? But I do it so that when people come to me and ask me about anything, how do your 2 pointers do? Well, they've had an 11% return of investment since 2022, for example. How do you do in 0 to 110 races? That's got the flat racing in there. So let's have a look. 120 to 130, 131 to 140. The better class of racing you go, normally the better you are, or I am. But there's lots of different pieces. I can go down here and look at the courses, how I do it each individual courses. I can use these buttons here to manipulate how I get on in grade ones, blah, blah, blah. The type of races here. So chase races, I can look at chase races from in 130 to 140 bracket, official rating bracket. There you go. There's so many different little bits and pieces you can look at. Look at that, 140 official rating bracket, 141 to 150, 46% return on investment on advised prices and 50% return of investment on Betfair SP prices, and that's since 2022 in chase races at that sort of bracket, 140 to 150 rated horses. So really good return of investment there. But there is so much you can look at when you actually get the data down. Now, there's so many people out there that actually go through life without a profit and loss, and I really don't know how they go through life without the data to really back up what you're saying. So, yeah, fascinating stuff. I thought that would be a good little video just to help you out. To quickly again run through what I record: date, horse, trainer, jockey, course, class, type of race, official rating, the Betfair SP price, what they touched in running, whether or not they came below an in running bracket, the tipped price, the SP price, the stake, win or each way, whether it won, where they finished, and then the rest will calculate itself up. I've actually got a profit and loss sheet that I've set up for people on the members page on the Patreon. If you're interested and you want it, go in, sign up, and it is obviously part of your service. So, yeah, there you go. If you would subscribe to the channel, that would be very, very helpful. And I'll thank you very much for watching. Be lucky.